Again for another weird live stream because I like to do weird live streams here in Alaska. It's wintertime and it's starting to get dark. There we go. Is that better? My skin's looking pretty good lately. I'm kind of happy with it. Anyhow, let's see what I got going on here. This is I cooked up 2 pounds of shrimp and I cooked up at least 2 pounds of ground beef, and I'll flip you around and give you guys a look-see as to what I got. Now I did this shrimp a little bit weird. I cooked up the ground beef. I let whatever renderings were in the pan stay there, and then I threw the shrimp on there, and then I just drained off a little bit of the renderings and put it in this bowl. I'm going to save that for later. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but yeah, I do strange things. Pull it out of what? I'm not going to pull it out. It's okay. So, all right, I need to get this shrimp in a bowl. And then, yeah, we're going to start working on eating it. Now, this is my only meal that I'm going to be eating for the day anyways. So if I don't eat it all, that's not a huge deal. But I can really mess up some shrimp. I have always been able to eat a lot of seafood, no matter what. And this is a fully carnivore type meal. There is a lot of extra fat in the shrimp because like I said, I cooked it in the in what liquid came out of the hamburger meat that I had. And I have so much hamburger meat here from when I was doing basically a meat-based diet. I just kept buying hamburger and putting it in the freezer, and I didn't realize exactly how much hamburger I had put away in the freezer. It was a ridiculous amount of hamburgers that we have in the freezer right now. So at some point it's got to get eaten, and I'm guessing I'm going to be the guy to eat most of it. So here we go. Gonna get this all set up over here, and I need to get me a fork. Forks are handy. I'm surprised my cats didn't dive right in there and get into all of my stuff, but I need to get some water before I get to talking too much, because yeah, you need water. Do I need to clean that lens? It looks a little frosty. I don't know. This is the phone I take to work with me, and I've been working outside doing a lot of stuff. I just need to find something to clean it with. Gonna head on into the other room, see if I can find me a little thing to make this image a little bit better, because it's kind of annoying when it looks fuzzy. Let me try this. You guys are going to get blurred out for a second. Let's see if that will help. It's really dark in here. I'm scared of the dark. Somebody turn the lights on, please. Okay. Much better. I might want to clean the back ones while I'm at it too. There we go. Okay. My house is a disaster. There's so much stuff in my house going on. I got these 4 cats, and it's winter time. And that's usually when the mice start coming in, and they kind of handle all the heavy work when it comes to mice. But I got a lot of Amazon stuff that came lately. My wife's been out shopping. This is something I bought my wife, this little wireless charger. I got one in my truck, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, I wonder, think I can eat all this? This is a lot of food here. So there's approximately 4 pounds of food here. But I love shrimp. I mean, I can really mess up some shrimp. Hey there, Don. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. This guy looks like a white version of Dr. Phil. That's a compliment. Dr. Phil makes a lot of money. I don't know if I can finish all this. 2 pounds of hamburger, I know I can eat that by itself. But 2 pounds of shrimp and 2 pounds of hamburger, I don't know. But I came home and I was incredibly hungry. And I was also like looking around the house at unhealthy stuff, and I'm like, dude, I gotta do something. So shrimp was already on my mind. I've been buying this at Costco in the frozen food section, and it's actually really affordable. My family loves it. One of the ways that I like to cook up the shrimp, because frozen shrimp creates a lot of liquid in the bowl, in the pan is I like to just cook up the shrimp in the pan, and I let all the liquid just kind of hang out there as it completely cooks the entire shrimp. Totally opposite of what I did this time. But then I'll season it up real good with paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper, some of my favorite type of salt, whatever that is. Oh, and I did get a special type of salt. I gotta put some on here. Let's go find it. Where'd I put it? Oh, it's over here. Nice. I got some of this. This is the hickory smoke. Yeah, hickory smoke. I've been waiting a long time to get smoked salt, mainly because I had other financial situations I had to take care of. But this stuff smells really good. Oh, almost too good. So we're just going to put a little bit of that on the shrimp. I already had some on the ground beef. I cooked the ground beef with this. It didn't really carry the flavor that I thought it was going to do when I was cooking it. So we're going to put some extra salt on top of the ground beef, see if that helps a little bit. But yeah, whew, that is a really good smell. I can't remember how much this was. It wasn't exactly cheap. This is a pretty good sized package. I'm looking at about net weight of about 14 ounces in this package. I think it was like 15 or 20 bucks. I didn't care. I was like, man, I want to have some. Let's try this with that salt on there. See what that does. Got a little crunch. It adds a little crunch from the salt, which isn't bad. There it is. There's that smoky overtone. That's pretty good. It does have an amazing taste. That's one of the things it says on the packages here. You know, Redmond's Real Salt. Redmond's Real Salt is one of the best quality salts I think I've ever bought. I have a collection of salt now. I got Himalayan pink salt. I got Celtic sea salt. I got several different types of Redmond's Real Salt. The regular kind, the garlic flavored. They also have like a seasoned salt type seasoning. It's pretty good. I'm not upset with that. Why are you just hanging out there like that? That's really strange. Well, take care of you. Yeah. Okay. See what's going on here. More shrimp for me. Yeah. True. Some people are allergic to shellfish. I wouldn't like life if I was allergic to shellfish or peanut butter. I mean, if I grew up without peanut butter, man, this peanut butter is just amazing. I don't eat it anymore, but if I ever had to, if I could find some real natural peanut butter, I'd probably eat some. But yeah, Jiffy and all this new Peter Pan stuff, it's just got too much garbage in it anymore. That's a lot of hamburger meat. Now doing the carnivore diet, I kind of strayed away from hamburger meat, even though this is how I got started. Mainly because there's not enough fat content in the hamburger meat. And then the fat renders in the pan, and a lot of that just stays in the pan. So that was part of my problem when I was transitioning into the carnivore diet. So if I were to eat something like this, I would have to add a lot of bacon fat. I could add beef tallow to it. I could also add butter. That would help everything work in my digestive system a whole lot better. I just had an argument with the guy online. He's actually he's a fellow YouTuber. But he talks about health and nutrition all the time. And I keep trying to, tell him, because he says the only way you can lose weight, the way the body works, is with a calorie deficit, and that's it. And I'm like, well, I've been losing weight without a calorie deficit. I've been maintaining my weight loss, eating up to 6,000 calories of meat. We're talking like this stuff here. not a bunch of other stuff. But I've been able to maintain whatever weight I was, you know, and weight is liquid, so it's going to go up and down a couple pounds. No big deal. But that's still a maintenance type of weight loss, even if you're eating 6,000 calories. But I can eat 6,000 calories of meat, you know, hamburger meat, shrimp, bacon, ham, whatever I want, and I'm not gaining any weight. Now, if I were to add in like dairy, say dairy for instance, that cheese and stuff, like cheese can definitely make you gain some weight. I found that out the hard way. But yeah, the hamburger meat is good. It's just I don't feel the love, you know, in comparison to hamburger meat versus like a ribeye steak, the way a ribeye steak hits your stomach. I feel much better after eating a ribeye steak than eating, you know, 2 pounds of hamburger meat. But not everybody can afford a ribeye steak all the time, and I understand that. Or a bunch of shrimp. I mean, you know, times are hard right now. Let's see. Saturn says, could you give us your best life advice, please? If you're not already doing a higher protein diet, higher fat type diet, like animal fat, I would definitely get it started. If I were to have started this type of way of eating at 35, I would have never had any of these problems when I got up into my 40s and 50s. Because now I'm 50 years old. I've reversed a lot of the damage I've done to myself in the last 15, 20 years. I was 435 pounds. I'm down to about 270. I'm actually a little bit below that. But, you know, if you want to know exactly how much I weigh, subscribe to the channel. I'll be talking about that in this weekend's update video. I always update everybody every weekend. So far, I've only taken like one weekend off. In over the last year and a half, I've uploaded a video just about every single weekend or done a live stream, you know, just to document what I've been doing this entire time. And yeah, there's a lot of fasting in there, very little exercise. So I've been losing all this weight with little to no exercise. And it's totally possible. And I've also been losing a lot of this weight by eating more than 2,000 calories a day. So whoever came up with 2,000 calories a day is a bunch of nonsense. And whoever thinks that you can't lose weight and still eat food is crazy too, because you can eat this stuff right here, lose weight, and I'm full. I mean, if I can eat all of this, it's like 4 pounds of food. I don't know if I can do it. I know I can kick this shrimp down. I was really hoping I had some butter in the house. Man, this would be so much better with butter. That's true. Calories in, calories out. And when I eat a meat-based diet, I don't worry about calories. I stopped counting calories. The only reason I might count calories is just to talk about it. Like, okay, this here could have like X, Y, and Z for calories. But I'm not worried about it. This is not going to make me gain weight. Now, the weight that I might gain from this is just going to be from the actual weight of the meat, but then it's going to digest and it's going to go through. My body's going to absorb all the nutrients. And life goes on. It's pretty simple. I love meat in my tummy and it tastes so good as soon as it hits the tip of my tongue. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's the way to eat. I mean, if you eat a lot more meat than you eat a lot of anything else, I mean, everybody would benefit from that. I mean, unless you're a vegan, of course, you would probably still benefit from it. But most vegans only last until they're 35 years old because they're kind of missing something important, which is a lot of the stuff that comes in meat-based products. I tried the vegan lifestyle for a little while. It didn't work for me. I had a lot of health issues because of it. And just like a lot of other vegans, I had to start eating meat again. And it wasn't necessarily because I wanted to start eating animal products. It was because I had to, because what's in animal products is what the body needs. Yeah, oxalates are horrible. I had so many oxalate problems. Even when I was doing a keto diet. I was doing a keto diet and I was getting these weird rashes. You know, I get rashes like under my man boobs or Sometimes I get these weird rashes around my neck right here. Basically in all the sensitive areas, I'd start getting these strange rashes. I thought there was something else. And when you go to the doctor and ask them, like, what is this? They just look at you like, I don't know. You know, they call it some sort of dermatitis or something like that and give you cream. And you put the cream on, the cream makes it worse. Yeah, this is a 2-pound bag, frozen bag I bought at Costco. I've definitely been able to put away an entire 2 pounds. Not a problem. But then I have 2 pounds of this. I believe it's 80-20. It might be 70-30 ground beef, but either way, it doesn't matter. Oh, you got some deer. That's awesome. Deer meat tacos. That sounds pretty good. Caribou tacos, too. Or moose meat tacos. One of my favorite things to do with moose meat is to grind it up, turn it into some sort of ground beef. I actually add some fat to it. Now, a lot of the people that hunt here in Alaska, they'll go out and get a moose or they'll go out and get a caribou. And then they'll run to the butcher and they'll grab like a 5-pound bag or more. Oh no, that was a mess. But they'll grab a big bag of beef fat trimmings and then they'll just grind that all up, add it in to the moose meat or caribou meat, and it just gives it that much more flavor, and it also provides a lot of nutrition. Because who would have thought we get most of our nutrition from animal fat? And then if you're like me that have been doing this long enough, you actually use the animal fat for energy instead of what most people do, which is carbohydrates and sugar. I'm not using those for energy anymore. I'm using proteins and fats for my energy and my health. And it works surprisingly well. I need to like make me a comparison photo just to have for these live streams so that way people can see, you know, the difference of what I used to look like a year and a half ago compared to now. I mean, right now, I feel amazing. I'm doing a lot more stuff. I was that typical truck driver that was outgrowing the truck. I was so fat. There's a lot of trucks out there I couldn't drive because I was so fat. I mean, my legs were too big to operate the pedals correctly. It was very sad. It was very embarrassing. I'm picking at this hamburger. I like it, but it's really not hitting the spot. It's alright. It'll still get eaten one way or the other. Hey there, Amber. No, I do not need carbs. Absolutely not. The less carbs I have, the better I am. I mean, if I don't have carbs, I'm still continuously losing weight. The carnivore diet is actually like a perpetual ketosis type diet. So you can eat a lot of food. You stay in ketosis, and when you're in ketosis, you know how that works. You're losing weight. I need vodka more than I need carbohydrates. No, I eat only meat pretty much every single day. Primarily how I got started on the carnivore diet in the first place. I started out with a meat-based type diet, which technically isn't carnivore, but I was using a principle of 90% meats and fats, 10% I love my life. So that means I was eating 90% meat and then a little bit of something else, like maybe, let's say a banana. I mean, I could have a banana. There's a little bit of carbs in there, there's a little bit of sugar, but there's not so much that's going to wreck the entire plant. So, let's say I had a banana. Would that hurt me in any way? No, it wouldn't. A banana is relatively kind of healthy, but if I'm trying to lose weight and I overindulge in something like bananas, I'm not going to lose the weight that I want to lose. And since I'm on a downward slope heading to 235 from 435, that's a lot of weight to get rid of. 200 pounds. So, and I'm already down a long way, and I'm getting really close to my goal weight now. Now, the one thing I would probably recommend to other people, because I've been doing all of this with little to no exercise, I would definitely recommend, maybe get started with little to no exercise and then start implementing in more exercise other than just going to work and doing daily household stuff. Because I've had some issues because I haven't done regular exercising or going for walks. Walking is great. Walking is one of the best exercises a person could do because it works everything. And I'm not talking about walking on a flat surface like going to the mall. The people that are, relatively the healthier type people, they go for walks on uneven surfaces, on trails, up hills, down hills, up and down stairs on a regular basis. And those are the healthy people that are around. Plus they're also eating a really, really good solid diet. They're not eating a bunch of overly processed foods. They're not adding in a bunch of seed oils to complicate things. They're not putting in so many ingredients into their dishes, even with spices. They're not complicating the entire issue. That's where people have a hard time with any type of diet. If they overcomplicate the diet, and it doesn't matter if it's a carnivore diet, vegetarian type diet, even doing the keto diet. Keto diet is very complicated. And if you don't know exactly what you're doing and exactly what type of foods help keep you in ketosis, then it becomes very complicated. It becomes frustrating. And that's when people start turning into basically like KetoVore, which is a mixture of keto and carnivore. Very similar to a 90-10 eating principle. And it works for a lot of people. Carbs are helpful if you want to bulk. But if you're trying to lose weight, carbs don't really help you that much. They don't really give you anything. Now, if I was looking for like optimal health, let's say I was an athlete and I'm lifting weights and I'm just trying to look awesome. Yeah, I'm going to add in about maybe 30% carbs into my diet, and that's right about there. That's about it. You get too much over that, then you start complicating the issue, and you're starting to add in bulk in the wrong way. No, carbs do not protect the heart in any way. I'm not sure where you're getting your information there, Andrew. Carbs do not protect the heart. Now, meat and animal fat, absolutely. The body was designed to run on this type of food for energy, and it's also built to absorb almost 98% of everything that's in here. Now, the thing that surprised me, I was up in Nome, Alaska on a business trip, and I did 30 straight days of ribeye steak. I had eggs. I also had reindeer sausage. And there was times throughout that 30 days where I wouldn't poop for like 3 days. And it's not that I was constipated. Is that when my body, my gut was healing itself, and it was just absorbing every single meal that I ate. And I wasn't, like every 3 days maybe I would poop up there. And that was it. And it wasn't like I was blocked up. It wasn't like there was any other issue going on in my gut. It was just everything was just trying to heal itself naturally from the inside. 375 to 200. Plateau is killing me. Oh, plateaus are hard. The way that I broke my plateau, I was at right around 300 pounds. I was like bouncing. I'll go 325, 300 pounds, right in there, just back and forth, back and forth. I went down below 300 pounds and then back up again. Hi, son. The way I broke it was with eggs and sardines. And so far, eggs and sardines have proven to be great for ketosis, plenty of nutrition. It's like taking a multivitamin, especially when you can like have a bunch of sardines and then have a bunch of eggs. And you can eat as many eggs as you want. Sardines too. But I was just like eating like 1 or 2 cans of sardines. And then I would just go nuts on the eggs until I was full, which really doesn't take long. So I think I was eating approximately 2 cans of sardines and about 10 or 12 eggs a day. And that worked out really well. I was really full. I was satiated. I was doing that one meal a day, and I was losing a lot of weight. But one thing the sardines and only eggs provided me every single time I tried it was guaranteed weight loss. I mean, I was always guaranteed to lose weight if that's all I did for 5 solid days. Wow. We're going to do this. That way I can get a little bit of both in there. Oh yeah. Look at that. Gotta give the puppy tax. Okay. So yeah, if you really want to break that weight loss stall, focus on 5 days. Don't focus on 7, don't focus on 10, focus on 5 solid days. You'll get some movement on the scale. You know, you might need to up your hydration, you might need to up your electrolytes. You know, there's something preventing you from losing weight at that point. And sometimes the body just wants to chill out for a little while. For me, it lasted for, it seemed like 3 months. It might have been 2. But it was very excruciating time in my weight loss journey, especially since I'm a YouTuber. I'm posting weekly videos about my weight loss. It was very uninspirational for me to want to post videos and not have any weight loss to show for it, because that's like the exciting part about like a weight loss journey is like, ooh, look how much I lost. But then when I had week after week after week of like little to no weight loss, yeah, I was frustrated. I was heartbroken. I was at a point where I thought, you know, maybe I screwed up something or I'm just not doing it right. But I was doing just fine. You know, it's just the body's way of just healing itself, you know, just taking its time a little bit. Because sometimes we lose weight too fast. That's what a lot of people were scared of when I first started losing weight. Because, I mean, I was losing it in big chunks. You know, 435 pounds. The first 30 pounds came off with a 5-day water fast. 30 pounds in a 5-day water fast. That's an amazing amount of weight to come off. Now, granted, the majority of that was literally water that was coming off my body. There could have been like maybe 2 pounds of fat loss in a week, but I don't know how much weight of actual fat you can lose within a week. But I think the majority of those big numbers is almost always water. I tried keto, I tried Atkins, neither one of them. Keto worked a little bit better than the Atkins diet. I don't do any alcohol at all. I learned my lesson a long time ago. I'm Alaskan native, and alcoholism seems to run in the families. And it kind of breaks my heart. It's part of the culture. It's part of living up here closer to my relatives. You just have to deal with alcoholism and love them for whatever problems they have. No matter what talking I do to these people, it will not fix them. So, yep, just love them for who they are. At times that does work, Andrew. I have done that in the past. Basically, it's not necessarily add carbs, but I just went total opposite of what I was doing. Let's say I was doing the keto diet. I was having a little bit of a problem losing weight. Ketosis is a fun thing to mess around with. I don't, personally, in my opinion, I don't believe we were designed to stay in 100% ketosis like perpetually all the time, even though I know a lot of people do, especially carnivores. But my thing is that sometimes I would deliberately eat trash food for, let's say, a day, maybe a day and a half, and then I would do a fast to deliberately put myself, to know I'm out of ketosis, and then I would start myself back up again into ketosis, you know, like a 2 or 3 day fast. And then you could feel, you know, the body literally, the mechanism, whatever it is, just, you could feel like an energy inside, just almost like a little orb, and you would just start experiencing weight loss. And it was just like, it felt so good. So, you know, for a long time, that was the majority of what I was doing for weight loss, was different types of fasting. You know, sometimes 24-hour fast, you know, 5-day water fast. I was trying to do rolling 36-hour fasting with a 6-hour feeding window. That was hard. I had a really hard time with that one. The way I do it now is I typically, you know, I do a 24-hour or OMAD type fasting, and then I give myself approximately 2 hours for feeding window. This might take me a while to eat this bowl. This is really dry hamburger meat. It's not. Yeah, I really wish I had some butter. I do have a way I might be able to fatten this up a little bit to make it a whole lot more enjoyable for me, but I gotta get rid of all this shrimp first. My wife hasn't been home to cut my hair, so I would. Normally it's just down. Yeah, I don't like long hair at all. Let's see, who are you? Holly Mindset TV. My channel is mainly about my weight loss journey. A while ago, it used to be about, like Walmart shopping. I did like prepping type conversation, but then I wasn't into it, so I got out of that, Holly. But yeah, if you check my channel out, I got an entire playlist of losing weight in Alaska, and it's just every single week. Just something amazing. Sometimes I had some bad weeks. I had a lot of bad weeks too, that went in there. But I also think if I didn't start documenting my weight loss journey, for one, people wouldn't believe me. Two, I would have had a lot less accountability. So chances of me slipping back the other way, becoming really morbidly obese, maybe bigger than 435, were totally possible. So yeah, documentation of the entire journey and having video to look back at, because I go look back at my very first video, very poorly made video, by the way. I go look at, the first 4 or 5, and I look at them, and I see how big I was, and the stuff I was talking about, and a lot of the stuff I was talking about was accurate, very, very accurate type, information to, from my perspective, to hopefully help other people learn that, yeah, you can lose weight. You don't have to run to the gym. You don't have to get a gym membership. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on products or powders. Finding some good supplements, that's always a plus. It doesn't matter what type of diet you're doing, because not every single diet out there is going to have every single thing you need. That's why supplements are important. So trying to cover those bases is extremely important. Can't argue with somebody who, what? Just a pair. Oh. Nutrition veteran. Okay. So, what's that have to do with my experience with weight loss and the fact that I can eat a lot of calories and still lose weight? And I've been doing it without carbohydrates. In fact, the less carbohydrates I have, the quicker the weight loss I have. But I am human, and I do sometimes get off the rails at times. I've had bowls of cereal. I've had some pizza once in a while. But my thing is that the carnivore diet in itself, all I have to do is eat meats and fats, and I can correct whatever damage I did previously, if I did any damage at all. Because sometimes I'd go out to eat and eat some stuff that I thought was pretty safe, and then find out it had like some sort of soybean oil or something like that on it, and then I would feel like crap for 3 days. And then I would just start eating more meats and fats, and all of a sudden everything's better again. Kind of weird how that works. Yeah, I will go bald. Don't worry. It's happening naturally. Actually, some of this hair is starting to regrow. Now, I heard some stories about other guys that their baldness started to, like reverse itself. I don't want it to reverse itself, but like some of this hair looks like it's starting to come back. You know what I mean? It's been like that. Plus, it's the camera angle too. And I got a really bright LED light right above my head. Yeah, carbohydrates really haven't done much for me in my life. I haven't felt that great. Even when I was a young kid, I was more into the meats, more into the fats. But back then, even our junk food when I was younger was a whole lot healthier than the junk food we have now. I mean, if we were to take out the cheap high fructose corn syrup and just go back to regular sugar, I think everybody would have been that much more healthy. Getting rid of all the overly processed foods and, you know, stuff like maltodextrin and all that other, you know, manipulated type sugar that's usually corn based. So basically what I made was 2 pounds of ground beef. I had 2 pounds of shrimp, which is, the shrimp is dwindling fast. I had the shrimp in another bowl this size. But I am kind of into the hamburger a little bit now. I'm thinking about adding some beef tallow to the hamburger. Mixing that up, maybe shooting it in the microwave for 30 seconds to get it nice and warm. But the hamburger is like officially dried out. It's got like no texture. I'm out of butter. If I had butter, I'd just put butter on it. And you still use carbs. I'm missing something here. That's the hard part about these streams, is I gotta go up and down. You're hypoglycemic? Okay. I don't know if I tried mackerel. I do not grind my own hamburger. I buy it at Costco Business Center. Yeah, I've never seen a carbohydrate active. Anyway, yeah, that's funny stuff too. But whatever. Now, there was a period in my life where I was just, when I was lifting weights and I was, you know, I was extremely athletic for a little part of my life. You know, I was skateboarding, snowboarding, mountain biking, doing all the stuff that us, you know, all the young guys did. Yeah, riding dirt bikes and four-wheelers and doing all kinds of stuff. But back then I was really, really physically active. In comparison, I'm polar opposite now. I drive a truck for a living. So I'm not nearly as active as I used to be. But back then I used to eat a lot of spaghetti. A lot of spaghetti with a lot of meat in the sauce too. I mean, I did not like just a regular tomato type sauce. I had to have a lot of meat, a lot of protein in there. Sometimes we'd have like weird different type of Italian sausages that were mixed in with the spaghetti sauce. Made it really good. But we would put down, you know, maybe a bowl or two about this size, you know, of pasta just about every night. And then we'd go hit the gym. We'd hit the weights real heavy. And we were lifting heavy back then. But that was our lifestyle. You know, when you get older, your lifestyle changes. You know, you get up in your 50s, get up in 60s. I know carnivores that are up in their 80s, 90s, and some are in their hundreds. I don't know one single vegan or vegetarian that's 100 years old. Not one. Probably because they don't live that long for a reason. Because they need something else in their life. But who knows? Maybe there will be one someday, but I don't think so. Unless they're like 100 and then they decide to go vegan. Then they might actually make that work, but that's the only way. Hi there, Lisa. Nice to see you there. I hear that Planet Fitness kind of works out with you guys in the lower 48. Up here in Alaska, you know, it's not the same. I mean, everything in Alaska is different than it is down south. But I remember when some of the truck stops down in the lower 48 years ago, they had little workout rooms, and then they got trashed, and the drivers didn't take care of them. You know, some of the stuff got stolen. This needs beef tallow. I could probably put some beef tallow in this right now and make this that much better. Go for a walk. Okay. We don't have to go far in my house to find beef tallow. Okay. What are we doing now? So, up with you, and we're going to tip you down, maybe, so you can see what's going on here. This stuff's good stuff. A really kind viewer sent this to us. A little cat hair on the edge. That's normal. But this stuff is so delicious. We're going to take some of that. So that's at least 2 tablespoons. I'm going to mix that on there. Yeah, you could almost eat this stuff by itself. It doesn't. Now, beef tallow itself doesn't have a whole ton of flavor. I mean, it definitely tastes like beef. Oh, I can't open a microwave without finding something in it. Let's shoot that in there for 30 seconds, see what happens. That might be too hot. I'll try it. The puppy something to eat. Okay, what's happening in there? Hear a lot of popping going on. Probably making a mess in my microwave. Okay. 2 tablespoons might have been too much. I don't know. I'll mix that around a little bit. It's not melting like I wanted it to, but it might. Oh, I just threw a shrimp. Okay. Needs another 30 seconds at least. Clean up this mess. Whoa. It makes great moisturizer, beef tallow. That really hasn't crossed my mind as something I want to do, is rubbing beef tallow on me, but I hear a lot of people do it and it works. No, I ate the thrown shrimp. I just put it right back in the bowl. And now that it's going to be microwaved, anything that's on it is going to be dead. Okay. Coming out. I can feel some heat on the bowl. Ooh, I just realized I'm using one of those really super thin Oriental bowls. You're not supposed to put those in the microwave. They don't work out too well. But I'm just hoping that I can stomach some of this. So the beef tallow kind of melted down. All right. Okay. Oh, it makes my tummy feel better. I don't know what it is about beef fat. It just makes me feel so much healthier. So tomorrow I need to get to Costco. I gotta buy some more ribeye steak, or I might even get a different type of more affordable type of steak as well. Top loin. But I found my own favorite way to cook it. And at some point I will share that with everybody, because it works so great. I mean, it makes the steak taste amazing. Yeah, this is awesome here. What do I got over here? Nothing I want. I used to have all my stuff like right over here on the, and then it just seems to migrate somewhere else. Whatever. Now, somebody just asked a question if I eat any garlic. So, we do have garlic like this here, but the only way I would eat this is if it was thoroughly cooked, because of the amount of oxalates that are in garlic, and I'm extremely oxalate sensitive, and I get kidney stones really fast and easy, or at least I did there for a while. I started using apple cider vinegar. That helped a lot with the kidney stone issues, but it was so painful. I mean, it was horribly painful. Not as good as butter. Beef tallow is good, but it's missing that creamy, buttery flavor. I have an idea. I have bad ideas, guys. Okay. I might actually like this idea, though. Oh, and I still have some. Okay. So this might actually work. There's something I was snacking on when I was off camera was pork rinds and sour cream. Okay. Let's mix this up real good. There we go. There's some sound effects for you. Gonna try that. Put that in the corner there. Okay. Boom. Yes, sour cream. That might be exactly what I need to help with this burger meat. Okay. It's almost like Taco Tuesday night. And sour cream is technically carnivore. But pork rinds and sour cream, man, they're so good. The only problem is with pork rinds, I can overeat pork rinds a lot. So I'll either stall my weight loss or potentially gain a little bit. But as long as I'm not doing it like every single day. You know, like bags of microwave popcorn like I used to do. I used to eat like 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bags of microwave popcorn. I just put sour cream on my shrimp. It does not complement the shrimp whatsoever. But it makes me want to do it again. Okay. So I gave my dog the leftover shrimp juice and the leftover fat renderings from the beef, and I can hear the bottom of the bowl now. She's already got that done. Yeah, I thought about that. I also wanted to try using pork rinds for breading. You know, maybe try to, you know, make up some fish. You know, like bread it in pork rind, use eggs and then pork rinds. Guys, I've finished a lot more of this than I thought. Wow. So the 2 pounds of shrimp is almost completely gone. I don't feel sick. I feel pretty good. So this is basically how you can overeat and still kind of stay in the game. Lime and shrimp is really good. Only if it's a little bit of lime. I have not made pork rind pizza crust. I have made carnivore chicken pizza crust. I do have that video on my channel. I'll probably do it again at some point, try to make a better video. But that works really well. And it also keeps you on the plan that you're trying to be. But the hardest part when you make pizza, you just got to come up with either an alternative for the sauce, which isn't that hard to do. I mean, you can make a carnivore Alfredo type sauce. Really not that hard. It's pretty easy. And if you can tolerate the sugar from the tomatoes, you know, tomato type sauce, yeah, of course, that's going to work. But it might not be the best plan if you're trying to lose weight. Well, I'm doing pretty good otherwise. Somebody asked me if I was okay. Have you cut carbs completely? Not 100%. Because, yeah, it's one of those give or take things. You go, I'll do like weeks, sometimes a month, 100% carnivore. And then I'll just start, maybe I'll have 2 or 3 slices of actual traditional pizza. Which isn't bad, as long as I can moderate my food intake now. So if I want to like just crazy get nuts, yeah, 2 pounds of shrimp, 2 pounds of hamburger meat, throw a little bit of whatever on there. I can do that, and I'll be just fine. Wow, Australia, nice to see you there, Royce. I appreciate you joining us today. Shrimp and ground beef. Well, it used to be shrimp. I don't think we have any shrimp left in here anymore. I had a whole bowl this size full of shrimp, and then I got down to a certain point, and then I just dumped it on my hamburger meat because I wanted to try to get some of this hamburger meat down. The sour cream definitely helps. Okay, hot wang. Hot wang? Wow, that's funny. Hot wang. Well, I hope somebody smiles today. I don't exactly try to take life too seriously anymore. You get up over 50 years old and you just realize you just spent so much time worrying about what other people think. Yeah, I don't care anymore. Make fun of my bald head, my big honker for a nose, my beard. I don't care. I'm old. I got gray hair. But one thing I'm not is unhealthy. I'm not unhealthy anymore. I'm still considered obese, but I'm not like super unhealthy anymore. Now, a year and a half ago, yeah, I was looking at death. My doctors did not really expect me to live that much longer because I was so fat. I was so out of shape. I had such severe sleep apnea, even with a CPAP machine. It was a pretty bad time. It was a real bad time. I don't wish that on anybody. It's pretty horrible. But yeah. Actually, this is probably closer to 2 pounds of beef. And then I had a bag of about 2 pounds of frozen shrimp. Well, if you're struggling, just stick with it. Just keep starting over. Typically, when most people say they're struggling, it's because they try something and then they're not enjoying it. They don't know why they're not enjoying it. Sometimes people just aren't in that state of mind to get started. I feel like when I start a fast, if I'm going to do a fast of any type, I feel like I almost it's like trying to run up a skateboard ramp. You got to get a lot of speed and get going before you get up to the top and climb up to the top. And then sometimes you fall down. Well, if you want to get to the top, you just got to keep running and you got to keep trying. And it's the same thing with weight loss, the same thing with life, anything at all. But that the whole saying, if you spend 1,000 hours on something, after that time, you're going to get good at it. You're going to start getting good at it. You spend 2,000 hours on something, yeah, you're going to be that much better at it. And that's all I've basically done here. Is I've spent easily over 1,000 hours just learning a little bit more about health and nutrition, learning how to talk to other people, learning how to just explain myself on camera. And it wasn't easy. And it wasn't, because there was a lot of embarrassing moments there. I had to show people my bad moments along with my good moments. And it wasn't some proud times. But, the really, really good followers that I've had and the subscribers, the faithful ones, they've carried me through all of this. They've helped me out a lot. And then when I make videos where I'm just uncertain of things, I just be honest. And I'm like, hey, I really don't know if somebody could help me out. Somebody would comment, somebody would talk to me, either in the comment thread or on the side. And yeah, I don't think I can finish this. No way. I'm full. So 2 pounds of shrimp, maybe a half pound, not even a half pound, quarter pound of ground beef. I can't do that anymore. Okay. No way. But now they talk to you about how when you're doing the carnivore diet, you just eat until you're satiated and until you're stuffed. I am stuffed. Now, I'm not like I could go eat a piece of cheesecake. You know, I'm stuffed to where I couldn't eat a piece of cheesecake even if you gave it to me right now. That's how full I am. But, all right. I seriously thought I'd have a good shot at that hamburger meat. You getting that down. But I was definitely going to get rid of the shrimp first because I love seafood. Now, somebody said that I might be like iodine deficient because I can just gorge on seafood. And I guess seafood has a lot of iodine in it. It's got some other stuff in there too. But there's a chance I might start looking into some iodine supplements. So that might be on the to-do list of things to find and source out and figure out what's good and how much I need. I never eat pork pizza, Muslim country. I'm not. I am not a super huge fan of pork. Even though I do eat bacon at times, but I don't know. It's one of those weird things where I like bacon, but if I start eating too much bacon, I don't lose weight. I stop losing weight. It just shuts it off. So I pretty much stay away from a lot of pork products. If I eat, like pork chops or anything like that, yep, nope, ain't losing weight that week. I mean, it's almost like flipping a switch and it just shuts it all off. Eggs have iodine. Okay, because I crave eggs a lot. I crave shrimp, lobster, king crab. I mean, who doesn't? That stuff's like amazing. Let's see. Amazon has iodine drops. Yeah, I might start looking into it. There is a lot of people out here that use iodine drops. Rapture 111 talks about it. Victoria. Oh. That was annoying. I had a burp and I was trying to swallow water at the same time. That could have been bad. Okay. Octopus and pork is so toxic. I am only saying this as I work in a lab. Don't quote. Okay. That's fine, Garcia. But like I said, I do have a little bit of pork once in a while, but I don't tend to overindulge on it. Not like I used to. Gary Fraser. Use iodine drops. How you doing, Gary? I see you quite a bit. Let's see. There you go. It's good to see you, Gary. I hope everything's going well. There's a lot of people I recognize in the comment section from time to time, and the ones that I talk to the most. Yeah, those are the people that I like to have as moderators. They don't have to do anything. They can just have the little blue wrenchy thing and not do anything. But the nice thing about the blue wrenchy thing is if you see something heinous that I don't see, you can kick it out of there. I mean, so, or if somebody's just like spamming the page with a bunch of nonsense, which happens. These live streams get spammed all the time. I've seen them get spammed so bad on other people's channels, it crashes, the YouTube server, and they just can't keep up with it. So yeah, that's what the little blue wrenchy's for there, Gary. God bless you tonight. Thank you. Lovely dogs. George V. I'm new to the channel. Hi, nice to see you there, George V. I appreciate you dropping in. I'm Big John. I live here in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm simply the most average of average guys. I drive a big truck. I lose weight for a hobby. I started about 1.5 years ago, so I make videos about my weight loss, the things I do. So I have a lot of experience with my own experience, which is just the most fascinating part about this, because nobody can sit there. People argue with me all the time about how I lose weight. It's so funny to me, because I'm like, I just did that for a week, and then I did this for another week, and then people are like, oh, I don't believe you. I was like, well, I have video documentation of everything up to this point. I said, and then when you see my images from then until now, it's pretty obvious these things are happening to me. So it's just whatever. I mean, it just hurts my feelings when I see these guys. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's a wrong word to use. It just befuddles. That's a great one. It's just befuddling when I see people talk. They're like, I have like 1,000 clients or something like that. I'm like, great for you. You make money giving bad information to people, and you need clients in order to stay employed. So I understand why you would think certain ways and preach certain ways. I don't have clients. I just tell people I lost weight because I ate meats and fats, or I ate eggs for 5 days straight, or I did a 5-day water fast and I lost that much weight. Okay, I focused on another week of 24-hour fasting and I lost, a certain amount of weight. Or I ate this food and I didn't lose weight, and I ate this food and I did lose weight. That's the whole point of a weight loss journey. Take away everything, add stuff back in, see what you can handle, see what works. But the one thing I've been doing really well is weight loss with no exercise. Just get up, go to work. That's all I do. Then I come home and then I eat food. Like most people do. Most people go to work, but they come home and they eat a lot of the wrong stuff. So I just flipped the script and I just started eating a lot more healthy type foods, maybe meats and fats. Sometimes I eat fruits. I mean, I'm not against fruits. I'm not against vegetables, but I do swing more, toward the carnivore type side of things, because it just, I'm a binge eater. So if I start binge eating, I'm safe as long as I'm eating meats and fats. Not necessarily cheese, but meats and fats. If I'm just eating like steak or hamburger or eggs or sardines, I can eat all I want, just over and over and over again, until I'm just so stuffed I can't, like today's video here. I just ate 2 pounds of shrimp and however much of that hamburger. I'm full. I'm full. I can still got room for water. That's about it. That whole hunger receptor is shut off right now. I have none. Like I couldn't eat a banana right now if I was craving one. It's like the thought of eating something extra right now. I mean, this is what I'm feeling right at the moment. It was just almost nauseating. Even eating more meat. If I had a ribeye steak, and I love ribeye steak, if I had one right in front of me, I wouldn't be able to eat it. I wouldn't be able to, pick at the fat or any of that. I'd just be, nope, just can't do it. It's fascinating to me how it works. How do you get mod? I don't know what that means. But yes, Victoria, this is real life. I mean, this is my life. This is how I've been doing things, eating at least 90% meats and fats, and then having weight loss or weight loss maintenance. And that was something I was worried about. So when I started my weight loss journey, I started with a lot of fasting. 5-day water fasting, and then it turned into 72-hour fasting and 24-hour fasting. And then I was doing fasting mimicking type fasting, which is only eggs for an entire week, which is a 5-day week. So I did everything for 5 days. And then on the weekends, I'd kind of do whatever I wanted. So it just made my life that much easier, because I was just doing it throughout the work week. And then on the weekend, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I can have a pizza. But by that time, I was like, I had so much progress, I slowly stopped wanting to have those so-called cheats. And I don't like using the word cheats, because you're only cheating yourself. And then if you call it cheats, then it does something in your psyche. It just doesn't work too well when it comes to this continuous weight loss. So, I mean, if it's craving and I caved into a craving, okay, that's not a big deal. But if I technically give it a term, like cheating, that's not a good way to go about it. So I don't believe in cheat meals. I don't believe in, that type of vocabulary, because it doesn't work well when you're trying to make like a health type journey switch. Also diet. I hear the word diet a lot. Well, most diets have an ending. Well, the carnivore diet, technically, yeah, everything's a diet. But the thing is when you start focusing on that word, the word diet, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm on a diet. Well, what does that mean? I mean, I'm only going to do it until this point, and then I'm done the diet. And then what happens? Then you're going to go back to eating the trash you ate before, and nothing changed. If we don't fix the circle of life, the problem, that's going on in our heads when it comes to food, health, and nutrition, if we don't learn something new about health and nutrition every single day, it makes this a whole lot harder. And that's where I was. I thought I knew a lot about health and nutrition before I started losing weight. And I opened up my own eyes with my own personal research. Yes, a lot of it was on Google. Um, a lot of it was through friends, families, other viewers. People were showing me different places to look for the research that I was needing. And these aren't all carnivore type people that were giving me this information. These are also vegans that understand that the carnivore diet works for me. Some of them were giving me some pretty rock solid advice too. They're like, oh, okay, well, if you're that case, here, try this. Even some of my health supplements that I take, they are technically a vegan safe type supplement. Even the Dr. Berg supplements that I have, and I just acquired some. Oh yeah, cramps, man. So I was having a real issue with cramps, and I got a couple different type supplements here. Now, magnesium glycinate seemed to be the winning thing for my cramps, because anybody that's doing like a keto type diet or ketosis strong type diet, what is this? Oh, Umka. Anybody else have this stuff at home? Umka. It works really well with kids if they got a cough or something like that. Let's see. So here's what I got now. I'll bring these over here. That way I can talk a little bit about these. Probably got to talk about them in my video anyways. But since we're here doing a live stream, so magnesium glycinate, yeah. So this is one of the brands I bought. I bought this at, it's primarily like a vegan type health store. It's called the Natural Pantry here in Anchorage. And this was one of the cleanest ones that I could find. But this is also like a vegan safe type supplement. Now here's Dr. Berg's version of just about the same thing. Now his version here, it says you need to take 5 capsules, and this one over here says you need to take 4 capsules per day. But on here it also says you can take anywhere from 2 to 5 capsules, so I guess it's your choice. Last night I took 3. The night before I took 2 of these, and I had the worst cramps all night long. It was so bad. And so I've been taking 2 of these in the morning, 2 of these at night, and they seem to be working. But then the night before that, it was just, the cramps were just impossible. And then I took, Dr. Berg's version, which worked. I mean, it felt like it worked for me. I didn't have any cramping at all last night. I had a pretty good night's sleep. It does what magnesium glycinate claims to do, which is help relax your muscles. This one also has added vitamins B6 and D. Now, something else I was wanting to get into my diet, and it doesn't have to be Dr. Berg supplements, by the way. I hear some people say some pretty nasty stuff about Dr. Berg, and they call him Mr. Google or whatever. I don't care about that. But I wanted to try his products for myself to see, okay, are these some halfway decent products? Are they going to work for me? Are they going to work for other people? Because I bought these off of Amazon. They really weren't that bad of a price. So they are somewhat budget friendly. This one as well. This one from the Natural Pantry. It's about 25 bucks. Yeah, just under 24. Yeah, $24.19 is the exact price that I paid for it. And I believe this was about 25 bucks, and I can't remember what this one was. About maybe $15, $20. But either way, so far I'm pretty happy with what's going on here. And I need to take some of these anyways. So I took 3 last night. It says I can take 5. I don't need to overdo it. So I can take 3 of these again. That's all they are. These little capsules. Now these don't have that horrible flavor that lingers on the back of your sinuses, like your nasal palate, or however you want to call that. You know how some foods just kind of like, you can kind of breathe out through your nose, and you can kind of have that. This stuff will knock your pants off right here. This stuff is like, wow. Yeah, it's pretty. This stuff's pretty strong. Still a pretty solid product. I liked it. So, but yeah, the vitamin D3 and K2. I only have to take 1 of these a day. I don't know if they even do much of anything, but I know I did. I'm pretty sure I didn't have K2 in my diet unless it comes naturally in some sort of meats and fats that I'm unaware of. because yeah, I'm not a doctor, not a health physician, but yeah, I do believe some supplementation is important. One of my other regular ones is fish oil and a little bit of zinc. Now, one of these, one of these here does have a little bit of zinc in it. Can't remember which one, but it's only like 20 milligrams. Okay, yeah, it's this one here. It has a little bit of zinc. It has some magnesium. Oh, magnesium citrate is in here. So this is magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate. So it's kind of covering both bases of magnesium right there, which isn't that bad. So 25 milligrams of magnesium citrate. And then we got vitamin B6 and vitamin K and vitamin D. Yeah. So yeah, it gives you a pretty good amount of additional vitamins for the same thing. I can't stop binge eating. Yeah, that's a hard one. Binge eating is, so my biggest problem was pizza. We would typically order anywhere from 3 to 4 large pizzas for the entire family, and at least 1 or 2 of those pizzas I would eat like right here. I would just sit down, and it used to start out with 3 slices. So I'd have 1 slice of each pizza. I'd sit down, I'd eat that. Then I'd go back again for 1 slice of each pizza. So there's 6 pizza slices there. And after that, I would go back and have another 2 slices. So there's already over a pizza. And then we'd usually wrap up dinner time. And shortly after that, I would have another piece of pizza. And about an hour later, I'd come back through and I would eat another piece of pizza. And eventually it would equal about a pizza and a half to 2 pizzas every time we ordered pizza. And then I was ordering pizza every other day for a period of time. And you can see how this perpetuated into really horrible decision making. But then I would sit down and have like maybe a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Then I would eat some more stuff, maybe 2-3 bowls of cereal later on that night. And then I had sleep apnea and insomnia because of my sleep apnea. So when I got up, excuse me. Hi. So when I got up in the middle of the night, I would tend to get up and I would eat more food. I was having more cereal. It was crazy. So I had to figure out a solution to stop it. And because it just got to the point where I was laying in bed and I was praying for God to take my life. And then all of a sudden it was like I got slapped upside the head and he's like, no, you're not coming. We're not doing this now. So that's when I started researching fasting. And I went down this big long rabbit hole for 3 months, studying like every type of fast, how fasting works, ketosis, when ketosis started, what is autophagy, when does autophagy start, so many different variables in there, how to do it correctly and how to screw it up. I was equally as interested in how to mess up a fast as I was into how to make a fast work correctly, because in order for me to understand it, and then what to do after the fast. It's like, what's the point in doing a fast if you don't have a plan for, before, during, and afterwards? And then somebody else brought up what really opened my eyes, after I started losing weight, was one of my really good friends sent me a message. He's like, what's your plan for when you get to where you want to go? And I didn't have one at that time. But that was perfect timing. Everything happens for a reason. These people's comments happen for a reason at certain times. And they become extremely useful. Most people would be like, hello from the UK. Hey, how you doing there? Only downside, you need about 2.5 hamsters for a serving. Okay. I'm at university studying biology and physiology and health. Yeah, I definitely look into meat-based diets, how they work hand in hand, or vice versa in comparison to a vegetarian type diet or a vegan type diet, because that conversation comes up a lot, because I've done the vegan diet, I've done vegetarian type diet. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for a lot of people I know. For instance, I live in Alaska. This is the northern region of the world, it's incredibly hard to maintain a vegan type lifestyle up here. I mean, it would be rather fruitless up here because you'd be spending more money than it's worth. Because vegetables that travel up this far don't last long, because they come up in container ships, and yeah, they don't last long at all. The quality of vegetables, quality of fruit we get up here in Alaska that's shipped up is really not that great. So I've seen a lot of it go in the garbage over the years, thousands and thousands of dollars out of my own pocket, thrown in the garbage because either it didn't get eaten or it went bad before we got a chance to use it. Let's see. Let's see. May I ask you a question? I am doing a project at university. Okay, Isaac, you need to just ask the question, and if I can catch it, then I can try to answer it. But yeah, that's not a problem. That's what I do, is I answer stuff that I know how the best I can with what I've learned. Let's see. I'm 50 years old this year, George. I'm doing a survey at university on the correlation between testosterone levels and I don't know how to pronounce that. Basically, it's an age-old question. How often should average men engage in sexual activities per week? As often as they want to, really. So, okay, Isaac, the funny thing. So I was having testosterone issues when I got started. Once I started learning how to naturally repair or fix or enhance or boost, however you want to call it, whatever vocabulary you want to use. But I found that eggs was the answer to my problem. So I was doing like week-long egg fasts where sometimes I was eating anywhere from 30 eggs in a week or somewhere up to 100 and something eggs in a week. And it just naturally fixed my testosterone. It actually naturally fixed everything. Hormones, all kinds of different stuff were kind of repaired while doing an egg fast. It was amazing. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. My wife she would attest to this entire thing. Everything working really well now. Most single men tell me 3 times per week. 49. George says 49 here. I mean, really, if you have enough time in the day and energy to take care of that stuff with your other or whatever you're doing, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'd be lucky to have intercourse maybe once a day if I'm lucky. But, I'm usually too busy. And when I get home, I usually eat and then I'm to bed a couple hours later. So I get home out of work. I got a 2-hour feeding window. I eat, then I go get cleaned up, and then I usually chill out for another hour. And then I'm zonked. I'm out. I'm usually dead asleep in a meat coma. What about eggs fixes tea issues? I don't know the technical parts of that, but I know just from experience of doing it, it works. I mean, it works really well. What would be an average number for yourself per week? Well, it depends on if the wife's home or not. So if she's home, then the average could be 3 to 4 times a week. Let's see, how would it be an average number? Yeah, okay. I already read that. No, I am 49 years old. Yeah, I was 49 years old when I started my weight loss journey. Now I'm 50 and I feel like I'm 30 years old. I mean, I kid you not. I feel better than when I was 30 years old. I'm doing stuff at 50 years old, which just, I feel like I'm running circles around the younger kids, at work. How often do you exercise? I really don't. I go to work, Isaac, and that's about it. I'm a truck driver, but I am a more active type truck driver, so I'm in and out of the truck quite a bit. I do a lot of container shipping container type work, so I'm opening the big heavy doors, which can be a challenge. I'm dropping trailers. I'm running back and forth in between different pieces of equipment. So I might be driving a truck 1 minute. I might be driving something that resembles a loader. And then doing other various tasks, like maybe getting in a forklift, loading and unloading things. But as far as strenuous labor, I don't do a lot of that. On occasion, I'll do some flatbed type work, which does require some agility at times. But yeah, not a whole lot there. Let's see. Be honest about your feeding window. It's approximately 2 hours. Yeah, every day. So I don't eat anything in the morning for breakfast. I don't eat lunch. The only thing I take to work with me is about 3 liters of water. One of those liters contains my electrolyte mix. Something that I might have throughout the day is chewing gum. But as far as calorie intake, that's about it right there. And then I come home at about 5, 6 o'clock every night. I have a lot of meat. I have some eggs. I like to add a lot of eggs. Eggs over easy with my meat tends to work out really, really well. So that's something I like to do. Do you take vitamins? D? Yeah, I got vitamins right here. I mean, these just arrived in the mail yesterday, so I just started taking these last night. My cramps went away after taking 3 of these. I was pretty happy with that. Now these were working, but I'm not sure why I had one solid night that was just horrendous. I had tons of cramps even after taking this. I possibly didn't drink enough water that day, and it might have nothing to do with the product. So that was most likely it, because I probably didn't drink that much that day. Another question in your survey: do you usually feel hungry or sleepy after? I usually feel sleepy. Definitely not hungry. Now, remember, I'm 50 years old, so things do change. When I was younger, yeah, I was ready to get up and order a pizza when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I just want to go to bed. I'm just like, thank you, good night. See you in the morning. Do you take... I don't even know what that is or how to pronounce that. I'm sorry there, JB. I would love to answer your question, but I don't understand it. Let's see. No, I'm definitely not going to get detoured on my weight loss journey because, I mean, after all, this is my weight loss journey. And that's the fun part about the weight loss journey is nobody can take away any aspect of your weight loss journey from you. You know, once you learn something and you figure out that this works for you, people can argue with you about, is this healthy or this good for you or this bad? This is going to be... What are you doing over there? You're going to stop as soon as you got ear stuff going on, huh? Hi. Oh, my poor baby. She's over here having a hard time. You're having a hard time? I'm sorry. This is my cat, Gray Bear. She was over there just kicking like Thumper. Poor thing. This cat right here is the one that used to force me to take her for walks outside. Hey, you all right? Something wrong with your ears? But yeah, if it wasn't for that cat right there, yeah, that cat got me up when I didn't even want to get up. And she used to force me to take her out for walks with her harness. That was part of me getting started. That was just like little short walks, just like around this little tiny yard I have here. Nerve pain medicine. No, I don't take any nerve pain medicine. Something I was using for nerve pain was the Life Pro vibration plate. That worked out pretty well. That was working really good for, it's not necessarily nerve pain. It was lack of sensation, or how do they call that? Edema. I think, is it edema? Yeah, it's in your feet. Where it's kind of a numb sensation. You can't quite feel your feet as bad. It's like early signs of like maybe diabetes type situation, but that helped a lot because I was having a hard time feeling the pedals when I was at work, and that helped me overcome that. So now I have a lot more feeling in my feet and my legs. Was doing my research, I've actually found a slight correlation that people who engaged in intimate relations often tend to live longer. That part doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I mean, the type of jobs that I do, I mean, I could come and go any moment. So just being a truck driver in Alaska or just walking out the front door in Alaska, one day you're here, the next day you're gone. So I don't worry about that aspect of it. What I do like is the fact is if you eat a lot of meats and fats, you tend to lose a lot of weight and you can do a lot more stuff. So you might put yourself in a pretty risky situation totally accidentally. Let's see, we can calculate a person's longevity. Yeah, I'm not worried about my longevity. I go and the good Lord wants me back. I'll say, oh, good looking. Yeah, my cat's pretty cool. She's been a good kitty. What age did you get married or with your partner? Oh, I can't remember that. that requires me to go back and look at dates. Okay. Carnivore Health. I was working in a school. I find taking iodine, I don't get sick. Let's see, the whole class went down last term, one by one, including the teacher. However, I didn't catch anything. Now, the funny thing is, typically so far, the more strict I am on the carnivore diet, the less sick I get. And if I do get sick, it's very, very minor. Now, this last plague that came through my house, my son got, and then I got a piece of it. I was functional sick the whole time. And so far, every time I've been sick on the carnivore diet, I've been functional, not feeling great. But it usually only lasts like a day and a half to 3 days tops. But I'm functional compared to getting the man flu where I'm down for 7 freaking days. And my wife's stuck taking care of me, and I can't even remember what day of the week it is, and I'm lucky to get to the bathroom. I haven't had the man flu once since I've been on the carnivore diet, and it's just, if that's not enough to sell, at least a meat-based diet, I mean, I don't know. People like getting sick, I guess. You eat a bunch of garbage food and you get sick all the time. If you're getting sick all the time, it's because of what you're eating. I mean, it's just that simple. What is the food you eat often? Personally, my favorite food right now is ribeye steak and eggs. They're my 2 favorite foods. That's what I crave, every single day. I love having eggs. I do still crave pizza, but I also crave stuff like bananas from time to time. I used to like avocados. When I started the keto diet, I was using a lot of avocados in there, but then we don't get very good avocados up here. So I stopped with those. And I also found out that if they're not ripe enough, the oxalate level's really, really high in avocados that aren't really ripe. And the oxalates are still pretty high even in ripe avocados. And since I was having such a tremendous problem with oxalates, I just kind of got away from avocados altogether. Let's see. Carnivore for 5.5 years. That's awesome. I bet you're feeling pretty good. What is the weather like right now? Right now it's kind of calm. We've had a couple days of snow. My truck has had tire chains on it for the last week. And not necessarily because we have to have them on, but because of the type of work I do a lot of drop and hook in a trailer yard. Sometimes you get stuck underneath trailers, and it's just easier to get in and out with tire chains on, and I'm not driving a long distance. I'm driving like maybe a quarter mile to and from where I need to go, and then I come right back to that same spot. So the tire chains help. But yeah, we've had quite a bit of snow here. It was a little bit chilly this morning. It wasn't very much fun. And a final part of my survey, who would you saw often initiates intimate relations, men or women? Well, I'd have to say both, depending on the day. Yeah, I'd say both, Isaac, depending on the day. I mean, it could be me, could be her. Quite often, before marriage, it would have probably been a lot more of the women were chasing after me for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I mean, even when I was morbidly obese, it seemed like I was getting people hitting on me. I'm not sure why. Never did understand that. Let's see. Women often have this image of being repulsed by sex. Yeah, possibly. George V, 81 today, and 55 for the low. And I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about your age, like you turned 81 today, and 55 for the low in Tucson. Yeah, we're not that lucky. It's definitely winter time up here. So the last 2 snowstorms, it's not uncommon for us to get snow in October before Halloween, but we got a lot of snow before Halloween. It was almost like a foot of snow a week before Halloween. It was pretty dramatic dumping of snow. And thinking of that, I hope everybody made it through their Halloween pretty well. Hope not everybody's getting in. My kid's got a bucket of candy over here. I mean, this is that is their Halloween bucket of candy. It's full of nonsense and not so good stuff for you. So yes, try to avoid that if possible. I know it's hard. It's Halloween candy. I mean, but you got to remember so I'm 50 years old. Anybody else that's in the same age range as 50 knows that a lot of our candy back then wasn't poison like it is now. It wasn't full of high fructose corn syrup and just stuff that's really, really bad and makes you super addicted and wanting more. From the Philippines. Hey there. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm in Alaska. I live in Anchorage, Alaska. The majority of my immediate family, a lot of them live in Nome, Alaska. Some of them live out in Wasilla. Let's see, one guy once told me he first got married, he was doing it 3 times per day, every day, for 8 years straight. Well, that's pretty impressive. I'm doing pretty good there. Let's see, Edgar. It's not all snow. I mean, we're pretty much in the snow now. Summer's over. Next week, we're supposed to be getting a lot of temperatures up in the mid-40s and getting some rain. So since we had all this snow and this packed snow, it's going to create a lot of ice and some really fun situations for people that live on snowy roads. Never a good time when we get weather like this. I appreciate you guys, everybody that's hit the like button. If you don't know how to hit the like button, there's little 3 dots up here in the corner, one of these corners. If you press that, it'll take you to another screen and give you an option to hit the like button on the stream. I mean, it's nice to see a bunch of likes on your stream. Not necessary, and you don't have to. Is the population small? No. Here in Anchorage, we have a pretty good sized population. It's just Alaska is pretty spread out. Like a lot of the stuff we have here, it's pretty spread out type of area. Hey Jamie, nice to see you back. I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, Jamie, it's good to see you. Jamie was around when I first got started. It's amazing how far I've come. You know, since we got started, we talked on the phone a little bit, and hopefully he's doing well, because, yeah, losing weight for some people just seems extremely hard, and I don't know, some people say I make it look easy, but it's not easy. It's not hard, but it's not easy. So I think the difference between my weight loss and other people's weight loss is that I have a video documentary. And I also have the accountability factor that, all right, I'm doing this on YouTube. I'm required to come back here. You know, I don't have to, but it keeps me moving forward. It keeps me being more progressive with things that I'm trying and experimenting with in order to lose weight. So I think that's where a lot of my success comes from with weight loss. I'm 20 and single, and I might travel there to find myself an Alaskan female. Good luck. Totally possible. But good luck. A lot of them are crazy, so even more good luck to you. And if they're not crazy, they're either on drugs or drinking a lot of alcohol, which doesn't help the situation of the crazy. Let's see. Also found my product. People. Yeah, a lot of babies are made up here in the dark months of the Alaskan winters, especially January, February. There's a lot of women getting pregnant around those months there. That's pretty common. I can't remember when me and my wife got pregnant the last time. I think it was just before winter time. I don't know. We were just getting to know each other at that point. Things got a little out of control. So I think it's to do with the mammals prefer to get pregnant in winter. I think it's because it's really, really cold up here, and it's really, really dark up here, and there's a lot of people doing the Netflix and chill thing. That's the thing. So that's a good possibility up here. I need to start picking up some stuff. My house is getting a little crazy. All right. Excuse me. So I just picked up this product off of Amazon. It's this, it's a dish rack. And my wife has decided to take it over and use it for her bird pieces because my wife loves to hunt. Those are grouse parts and pieces and whatnots. So yeah, we got a lot of grouse meat in the freezer. But yeah, I got this nice little dish rack here, and it just happens to have a plastic back. And then the grates here, then you can put whatever you want. If you want to thaw out some meat, you can put it in there. And your cats don't get into it. And it's got a weird little shelf up top, which is, I thought was like another part of a drying rack. It should have been. This should have been another like level like this, or at least some sort of grate up here. You could like put pots and pans up here. That would have been a great way to design that product, but whatever. And then of course we take some of our old parts and pieces off the other one. You know, it's nice to have that for silverware. Yeah, weird. But yeah, really, my house is a mess. And I got too much stuff. We got too much stuff in a little trailer home. My wife wants a bigger house. And I don't blame her. I want a little bit more room. But the only problem with a little bit more room is you tend to collect more stuff and it just fills up quicker. Because we have this whole section which is like behind. See that whole section back there? That used to be a bar, and then I put a wall up so we could put the TV on the other side. But then this all starts collecting stuff, and there's no safe place in the house. There's no safe flat surface in our house. And everything here is a befuddled mess. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. I'm not even gonna go into this stuff. Ugh. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to cut off the stream here and get started on some other stuff. Take a shower, get ready for bed, get up in the morning, and start working on some halfway decent talking points for tomorrow's video. There's some really important stuff I wanted to talk about on this weekend's update. So if anybody's interested in that, you know, what's been going on? Did I lose any weight, you know, this week? You know, how am I doing it? Stuff like that. It's basically all I talk about. My experience type stuff. I don't try to convince people to do this or that, but if somebody wanted to lose weight with something I'm doing, it gives them a good idea on what to try. Because this stuff works. I mean, everything I've been doing, as long as you're getting yourself in and out of ketosis, yeah, you're going to get some weight loss, and it's going to work. Not a big deal. Let's see. Hey, I was so late getting here, man. It's all right. Oh, Lisa's still here. The more I clean, the less things I want. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an Alaska thing, because here in Alaska, we collect stuff. I mean, it's just, sometimes people move out of state and they just give stuff away, and a lot of it's useful stuff, but it's like, really, how much of it do we need? We don't need, you know, because I lived in a cabin about the size of my living room. And I was just fine like that for the longest time. I felt good. I felt great. Before that, I was living in a camper, a small camper, similar, a little bit bigger than a truck sleeper berth. And I lived in a truck for over a year. My first year, I spent a solid year living out of a truck. I had no physical address. I was just in a truck. I had no place to rent. I had no place to go home to. I was just driving around making money. That's all I did. I had 4 or 5 vehicles I bought all over the country, depending on the trucking terminals, and the ones I frequented the most. I just buy like a $500 or $600 car. That way, when I got there, I could just jump in a car and go to the store. But yeah, it was weird. I don't miss lower 48 trucking. Over the road trucking is the pits. But Louis CK. All right, guys. Yeah, I am fading fast. I ate 2 pounds of shrimp. And I ate quite a bit of that hamburger meat, fed the rest of the dog. So I didn't win the Can I Eat This All challenge, that's for sure. But I tried. I gave it my best. The conversation we have here is always better than some of the foods that I eat and the random nonsense I might create in the meantime. But okay, guys, God bless. And I hope to hear from you in this weekend's update video. Somewhere in the comment section would be nice. I'd love people that check up on me anyways from time to time. Just, I don't know, makes me feel good. All right, take care. We'll see you next time. You too, Jamie. I appreciate you. And there's the button. There's a button right here. Watch this. Buy some brisket. I might try some brisket. You have a good night too, Lisa. I'm going to Costco. I'm buying a big chunk of meat tomorrow sometime, and I'm going to start cutting that up into steaks. That's what we're doing tomorrow. But all right, guys, take care.